All right, we are back for another tips and tricks, and today we're talking about our hair. We're going to relive a little bit of hair because you saw us last time dye our hair over here or wherever it is. So click on that if you want to see the initial like dyeing job. But
okay, we're going into the gray area, people.
Right.
The gray area.
Right, like we're not ready to re-dye the hair because we don't want to kill it, but all the gray is coming back in. So this is a fun gray area of like, what do I do? Do I dye my hair every 3 to 5 weeks and just kill it?
Always dyeing. And
Right.
so there's a lot of things out there. We're only focused on this in-between period of we're going to re-dye our hair soon. But not yet, okay?
Right.
Because it takes like a whole day.
Right, it does. And we don't have a whole day this frequently, and so we're not looking to replace the total dye job, but we're looking to extend the time between. How about that?
Yeah.
So the lazy man's cover up for a little while.
Hey,
So
sometimes you need that lazy man trick to fix the gray so my wisdom sparkles are under control.
right, so we're going to dive in. We've got quite a few products that we're going to try over the next week to see how they respond to our hair, what works the best, what do we feel like we can do on a normal basis once that gray starts to pop up and show its beautiful self.
Yes. Okay. So I went to Jenny's Beauty Supply. So click here if you don't know about Jenny's. And I just like grabbed all the things.
She calls me and she's like, I just came back from Jenny's. It was so much fun. I have so many things.
Okay. I was just, I guess, really surprised at how many different products there were. And Tiffany and I have very different things about us. And so our hair is one of those. And so I wanted to make sure we had a good selection so we could really figure out for each of us what works. Like, is it worth it? What lasts well? Feels good? All of those things. So like my hair is really thin, fine baby hair. Like I've just always had thin hair. And so if I'm putting something up here, how heavy and gross is that going to be in my hair? So I have some different qualifications I'm looking for. So from all these products, we're going to kind of show you the different things we're trying. I need to find my product. And so I'm going to go through and I'm going to figure it out. So Tiffany.
Right, like I've got thicker hair. It can hold a little bit of weight. It's got more volume to it. It's definitely darker. So the sparkle shows a little bit more than what it does when you're looking into blondes and things like that. So I'm looking for something that I'm okay if it weighs it down a little bit or if it takes away a little bit of the frizz that's naturally there, and something that'll match the dark, because I don't want to look like I'm a lighter brown or black, like that weird in between or whatever. So I'm looking for what works for me on my hair. So this is going to be interesting because like across the board they're the same product. So will they work better on Charlotte or they work better on me? We're going to find out.
So for you as a viewer, what kind of hair do you have and which kind of product between our two hair types do you think might work for you? Or do you have something else that we haven't even found? Then go ahead and let us know what you found. So we're really going to find from all the things we've kind of showed you these pictures, the product that we're going to recommend for our hair type that we like. So come with us, come see the struggle, and we're going to show it in action to see. This is the gray cover-up that is going to work on our hair types. And I think the funniest thing is by like say dyeing my hair blonde, there's not a blonde product to cover.
No.
It's all brown, like medium brown, natural brown, and then dark black, all of those things.
Because blonde and white,
they just blend, it's fine.
It's
so
pretty.
it is kind of maybe harder to see. And so when I end up using this product, it brings out the brown root compared to the blonde. But you know, there's the umber style, and I'd rather it look more natural brown than, oh, you've got a lot of gray in there. So I realize that maybe blondes don't care so much, but I don't need to be quite that wisdom sparkly yet, okay?
but there are lots of people who highlight. Your
Oh, yeah.
tree's attacking me today. There's lots of people who highlight and do things like that. So you still want that in between because the white is definitely, the grays are definitely going to show on top of that. So even if you're streaking and you leave some, like you don't want to go completely blonde. So even after you streak your hair, we can use some of these products on the brown parts to cover up the gray. So this is our gray filler. So before we dive in and start showing you the products that we got, don't forget to click like and subscribe so that you can follow this entire process that we're going through.
Yes, and really we want to give you a good review. We want to make sure we have a product that we are going to stand behind, and in between that month or so before it's dye day, we have something that when we go out, we feel comfortable comfortable with our look. And if you just love all your grays, good for you.
Right, so dude, I have so many friends that are like rocking the grays, and during quarantine they're like, I haven't made it to the salon, I'm going gray, and I'm like, it is beautiful, good job, like, you know, so it's a preference thing. We're not knocking gray hairs. Show your wisdom and show your years, because it's beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. These are guy products too.
So true, guys can
right, but
get a little younger.
If you're not ready to do that, then you're not ready to do that. Like this,
it's okay.
Whatever. We're not judging. So don't judge us. That's
the
rule. That's the rule of stupid useful. We don't judge, you don't judge. All right, we are ready to relive all of these fun hair products. Fun hair products that we've been trying to cover up the sparkles.
So the results are in. Okay, we've been using the products. We've taken our time with it. We wanted to really give them each an honest effort to say, what would we be willing to cover up the wisdom with, and say no more gray, because I'm getting close to dying and I don't want to have to dye yet, but I will.
Right, I don't want to kill the hair and have to dye every, 6 weeks to cover it up, but so we have all of our products in front of us and we're ready to tell you which one is our favorite.
And why, or maybe even like a runner-up. Do you have any runners-up?
I have an interesting experience with these.
Okay, so maybe Tiffany should share her experience first.
Right, well I could tell you I thought that I was like, okay, this is what I can deal with. So first off, I don't really use product in my hair. I've never really used a lot of product in my hair. Even like hairspray and stuff, like I just don't use a lot of product in my hair. Because of that, like, and my hair is thick and it's on the drier side or whatever, like I only have to wash my hair like every 4 days. Like that's when it starts to get greasy. So using product totally changes that and makes me more high maintenance, and I'm lazy, so I like only having to wash my hair like every 3 to 4 days. So I had to wash my hair like every other day using these products. That was the first thing, which means I'm using more shampoo and things like that. So all around, like that was already a kind of a downer for me. All right, so my runner-up is the mascara wand, which it basically is mascara, which I've done before. And it looks like mascara, it smells like mascara, it doesn't say keep away from your eyes, so I might even use it like mascara because it's cheaper than mascara. I mean, the wand is a little bit bigger, but not by much. And you just brush it on and it covers it up. It does dry and get hard like mascara, like I did all those things that I've done before in the past. But it is a quick fix if something is really bad. And it's super dark, and so it matched really well. So that was like my biggest complaint, is anything else trying to get it as dark as my hair was hard. So this is my runner-up. What's your runner-up?
Okay, so my runner-up is the like stick, cover-up stick thing. So there was several products from like the combs to, there's another waxy thing.
Oh, yep.
So, and they're a wax-based product. And so, out of all of those kinds of products, I ended up with one that was a runner-up. And so it seriously is just like...
Looks like a giant lipstick.
Yeah, it's really funny. And so, this was the first one I tried, actually, and I was really impressed for trying a product like this in my hair. I just have really thin hair, so I actually wash my hair every other day, so it wasn't that big of a deal for me to just add something. But the trick is, because I have such thin hair, putting a wax-based product into it did make it feel so much greasier, so much faster. So by the second day, my hair did not look and act like it should. So if you're trying for an everyday product, you may just need to just go dye your hair, because it is hard to change what you're doing to add something like this into your beauty system and have your hair maintain what you're used to. So for that, I was actually really surprised I liked any of the wax-based ones. And this is so simple, you just like run it under the water and then you just kind of brush it on your hair and it comes off enough. So that's my runner-up, the Quick Cover Root Touch-Up.
My favorite became quickly not my favorite. So maybe my runner-up was my favorite. So the spray on root touch-up with thickening fibers. It's like a hairspray. It's like the best hairspray I've ever used in my life. So if I was going out somewhere and I wanted to look good and I needed to cover up those gray hairs, this is what I would use to cover up those gray hairs because it would hold my hairstyle and cover it up and be beautiful. However, I've never ever had to say the words that I have sensitive skin before in my life.
Oh.
But I sprayed it right here on this line where all my little hairs are. And when I took a shower last night to wash it out, my entire face burned. My eyes burned. My lips were on fire. Like, it hurt. I wanted to cry in the shower. This stuff hurt so bad coming out. So I was like, I know you just did yours in the part, which is different than like right here. Cause even like, I was like, oh, I cut peppers. Like, did I touch my face with my peppers or something like that? And as I looked down and opened my eyes, I could see the brown running off my face. So that was gross too.
Yeah.
But I was like, holy Hannah, make sure your head's tipped back or something. So I was like, this was my favorite until I washed it off and it hurt so bad. Like, it was so... If you have sensitive skin, or maybe you might have sensitive skin after this, I don't know. And it was really weird because it was just my lips and just around my eyes and like just a couple of streaks or whatever. But oh, it was bad. So,
okay.
I know I was gonna demo this one for you today, but I'm like, I'm terrified to use it again after that. But it's an awesome hairspray and it covers it up and it like matched my hair great. Like it did those things, but I don't know. It was really weird last night.
So maybe, I would say maybe future testing, but evidently this animal product is, she's not comfortable being a test subject anymore, which is why we're people. So.
Right? Ow.
Oh, don't hurt yourself. Anyway, so there is things you're going to discover about something the longer you use it. So that was an interesting addition to this conversation.
Right? I had told Charlotte the story because it just happened last night.
Right? And so my favorite is the same one. I've never had any issues washing things off. I always wash back towards the back of my head. I never have anything come towards my face. So I don't know. But yeah, I just kind of get a little bit up on my part. It's funny, it sounds like spray paint.
Yeah. And it says, shake well until you hear the clicking.
Well,
like even the first time I move it, I hear the clicking.
How thick is this stuff gonna get if you can't hear it click the first time?
Right? I mean, it covered great. It did thicken my hair. It made it stick. It matched. It was a great product until I tried to wash it out.
So maybe another odd thing about this one, because you're changing your hair, you're adding a product into your hair. So this one, when you add it into your hair, there are thickening fibers. So it's very obvious where you've sprayed this. And right, it dries like a hairspray, so it's kind of thicker. And so I found actually for lasting 2 days for my hair type, this one lasted the second day and it actually broke up a little bit better for me to where I didn't notice this like line of hard hair stuff. So it may not have been as much coverage the next day, but it felt better the next day, which none of the other ones I could say that about. No. So that was kind of weird that way. But again, for a quick solution, I would not say that any product I would cover my gray every single day.
Right, I don't know if I would ever.
But if I'm feeling uncomfortable about all my little grays, then I've got an option that I'm comfortable using to be like, okay, let's just cover that up really quick. And, you know, I would definitely use it again.
Right, like if your husband called you up and was like, hey, let's go out to dinner tonight, and you're like, oh, I'm looking really gray. I would try it again, maybe.
Now this is also the most expensive of the ones we tried. So I totally was like, all right, if this one's gonna be the most expensive, I kind of really do want it to be the one that is the best. But it's not always the most expensive one because yeah, this little thing works too. It's not like the other options don't work. It's just if you're not going for an everyday recurrence, then I think any of them would have been okay. I would say the most disappointing one
was this one.
Was the comb.
Like it, even for a dark brown, it was not a dark brown. It was super light, thick, and waxy. And to get it to cover and to make it blend, I had to like work it all through my hair, and then my hair just clumped and waxed together. And this was the grossest product I've ever put in my hair. And I was like, no, no, no.
I was secretly like, okay, I think it looks crazy and stupid. Maybe maybe this thing could do something good, but it just took so much effort to get it to even start coming off.
It was so
that then you have this like thick layer, and you have to kind of spread it through your hair so it blends, and then my whole hair is gross.
Oh,
I don't recommend that one.
and every single one of these comes off. Mine is the dark color. Even this one, when I ran my fingers through my hair, I got brown underneath all my nails and it looked like I was dirty. So note to self, don't touch your hair. If you're a hair toucher, your husband's a hair toucher, your boyfriend's a hair toucher, if you use this on your beard or whatever, and your girlfriend's, like it will get everywhere. It was on my pillow after I sprayed it into my part in the back of my head. Like I got it everywhere. I don't know if it's because it was so dark that it was easy. Maybe I overused the product. That's why it killed my face. I don't know, but I do that often and it was like dirt under my nails.
Yeah, I didn't notice anything really coming off, but I mean, I definitely have thinner hair, so I don't know that I used a lot of product. Anyways, okay, so if you're interested in one of these products, they will do what they say they will do. Yes. However, is it gonna be something every day you wanna manage? That's up to you. I think this would be your best choice to try if you wanted something to try for an everyday choice. But there's other stuff out there. And even what we tried, I'm sure there's even more. I was really surprised how many products there were. I actually only expected to find this one because one of my friends told me about it. And I was like, oh, okay, that's what I'm looking for. And I found all the other ones, I'm staring at the aisle. Where is this hairspray thing? And there it was. I finally found it. But it was the most expensive. But at the same time, I mean, I figure it'll last a decent amount of time too.
Yeah, it's
all right.
Heavy.
Well, I'll show you how to apply it. Tiffany may show you something else.
Well, I don't think we should both show the same product.
Right.
So I think I'll do my runner-up, the wand.
Okay.
Because this is what most women have lying around.
Right, you don't even have to go buy a special product if you like your mascara color and matches your hair enough. Hey,
right.
That's up to you. I think one of the things I was really afraid of, like literally you're just spray painting.
Oh my gosh, I can totally see it changing.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
So it took out my little shiny spots. I no longer have that, but that's okay. Like, they weren't highlights for my blonde, okay? So it should have been looking like this the whole time.
Right, there you go.
I was really afraid when I did that to do that line, and maybe on the camera it really looks like what I'm afraid it looks like. I was really afraid to be like, stripe, and be like, oh my crap. Now, my blonde's pretty drastic anyways, so I already have a pretty good line. I think what made me uncomfortable was really like how much the gray being my blonde highlight. So, I mean, I don't know, let me know. Is it like too much? And you're like, girl, just don't even. Let me know.
Keep the blonde because it makes the highlights.
Yes.
It's gonna take a little bit more time. Like, bonus for her, 5-second spray.
I can definitely see the darkness like filling in right there. And you haven't even like kind of, like you went that far before you went back in to get more.
Yep, so like I did like that. Like I feel like it kind of goes a little bit longer than... There we go. Boo, boo, boo. There you go, now I took away all my sparkles. And it's not as thick and heavy as the brown, but it's not waxy like the other ones, but I still have black on my fingers. So, there we go. So, took a little bit of my wisdom away.
All right, so really?
Is it just because of how dark mine is?
I don't know, I'm really curious. I was like, if I really dig in it, I can get something in there. It's just not.
I got it.
I know, but I had to like really want it. It's not like just touching my hair, it came all over me. Like that's what I've not noticed, because I'm definitely, like, even especially after I spray it, I do this
to... Squishable, it like got on the Squishable.
I know, but you weren't doing this one then. That was the wax one.
That was the wax.
And I can totally see the wax one smudging off for sure. I think this one is your least smudgy.
Yes.
The mascara too, once it dries, I can see that it wouldn't probably smudge onto things as easily.
Right. If they really want it. If
you really want it.
Bury your head into that sucker. Well, you never know. Anyway.
Oh my goodness, I hope this was helpful.
This was entertaining and interesting because I don't use product, so it was fun to like force myself to use product. Maybe that's just my natural like, no! But anyways, covered the gray, and I definitely would use it again if I was in a pinch and I didn't want it to show and I was going to go do something. So
right, like pictures, I would say definitely. I would definitely use a product like that if I was getting pictures done and I'm like, oh yeah, I really don't want to be distracted by how old my hair makes me look.
Right. So I'm not throwing them away. I'm keeping these two.
And we'll see if she ever tries this one again. Oh goodness, don't forget to like and subscribe for any of the other crazy things we review or anything you want us to see. Give us comments. We appreciate you hanging out with us here today. And again, maybe your hair does something different. I was actually surprised that our hair, different types, would even gravitate that we preferred the same kind of product, because I was curious that the wax thing may have worked better with a thicker hair, or maybe like that first one I tried, I was really interested in it until the second day. So everybody's individual. That's probably why there's so many products out there.
Right, true story.
It was fun to try and figure out what did or didn't work for us.
Right, and if you want to see more things that we do with our hair, check out our awesome hair pieces right up here.